Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Chicago Bulls up against the Pistons in Detroit. Looking at the Pistons, they're not satisfied with the record over the last 10 games. Under 500 basketball, just not good enough. Looking to improve tonight. And already the grind of the new season starting to show. Shaq, how do you stay fresh for the long haul, both as a player and as just a massive individual?
Veteran guys, you got to know how to pace yourself. And minute restrictions, it really has become a bigger part of the game.
Yeah, I agree. So, injury histories, always taken into account now. This is why you have to develop depth.
How do you stay fresh for the long haul?
Oh, man, I have this drink I put together.
Oh, really? What is it?
Oh, yeah. It's a little, I take tomatoes, right? And I squish them up, and it gets real like tomato sauce.
Uh-huh.
And I put that in. And then I take kale salad. I put that in.
What are you making, spaghetti?
I put ginger in it.
Yeah.
Put that in. I put a little cayenne pepper in, a little bell pepper.
Sounds disgusting.
Ernie, he's making lasagna over there.
Sounds disgusting.
Can I get some of your lasagna?
Oh, man, it's the pepper. It makes you pep up.
Yeah, that'll do it for us. Thanks for tuning in.
Also,
we are live from the Motor City. Welcome to Detroit and an Eastern Conference contest for the Pistons. It's Wednesday night basketball live on 2K Sports. Alongside Greg Anthony and Steve Smith with David Aldridge on the sideline, this is Kevin Harlan. And the Bulls looking for a positive start here on their road trip. It has not been a dramatic change this season to the performance last year in terms of the record, guys. Every game, though, a chance to get better as a team.
And this is what the NBA is all about. Competition. That's why rivalries do matter.
They do. It's good for the sport, the TV ratings, the fans, but most of all, when you're a player in this kind of game, the adrenaline rush is incredible.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Thanks very much. Andre Drummond is the most prolific rebounder in the league. He said, every time I see a shot go up, it's like a pass to me. Guys focus on points and getting assists. My goal is to go out and get 20 rebounds a night. Kevin?
He definitely is tough to handle in there, David. Thanks so much. Smitty, early in a season, how many of these surprising losses can really be considered upsets, do you think?
The great teams, they look at it's like a marathon. They're looking to just get better. But I think for the younger teams, they will love to gain some confidence in knocking off some of these playoff favorites or these teams that's been, picked by us, the media and the fans, as the favorites. But I think a lot of teams look at it as, let's just build. It's more about building to the end of the season versus at the beginning of the season.
And it's Chicago to start out. Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. We've got Parker, also Carter out there, and it's Levine in at the shooting guard. Carter kicks to Parker. On the wing, Levine. He's guarded by Bullock, and they pick up two. Levine's got the first points of the night for the Bulls.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Robinson finds Jackson. Tipped away. Here's Drummond. Yes, that goes in.
In attack mode inside, the best of Drummond comes out when he's being decisive.
Arcidiacono, the pass to Carter. Parker outside. On the wing, Levine. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And then Carter with the jam.
That's nice patience by Zach LaVine, finding the open man, not trying to do it all himself.
Jackson looking it over. Here's Griffin. Fades away and sinks the tough shot. Here's Arcidiacono. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Parker against Griffin. Parker inside. Rebound, Detroit. They beat the Bulls during their last encounter in Chicago.
And on the road, their perimeter shooting really helped to kind of keep the crowd out of the game.
You know, I was surprised to see how comfortable they were in that environment. Shot a very high percentage from way beyond the arc.
Here's Arcidiacono, following the score by Reggie Jackson. Arcidiacono kicks to Parker. Lock at 6. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
A lot of laziness going on out there. Still early in the game, but that needs to get worked out.
Now here's Griffin. He's coming off a 10-point game against Charlotte, and he makes that one. Griffin's got his second bucket tonight.
I love the play call, and Blake with the strength, but also the touch to dominate inside.
Robinson against Holiday. The 17-footer goes down. Holiday's got his first basket.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. Griffin looking it over. Outside Jackson. Shoots it. Pistons keep it alive. Here's Drummond. Good work defensively by Carter.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
I love the defensive intensity from Blake Griffin on that play.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Bullock dishes to Drummond, and it's in there. Drummond's got his second basket of the game.
This is a guy who knows how to orchestrate an offense. Terrific lead pass.
Arcidiacono, the pass to Levine. He feeds it to Carter, and stolen by Drummond. Robinson with it, now defended by Levine. Robinson kicks to Jackson. Pass to Griffin. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. And it's Drummond with the jam.
Clock running out. Drummond showing some maturity. Stays calm and scores the bucket.
Last game for Chicago, it was a loss to Dallas. And for Detroit, a lot of changes, Greg, in their front office this past offseason.
A new GM and Dwayne Casey brought in to coach. Could see a drastic shift in style and approach for the Pistons moving forward.
Now here's Jackson. He's coming off a 19-point game against Charlotte.
And no one on defense could stay in front of him. He continually got pummeled and kept getting back to the stripe.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Carter against Drummond. Carter kicks to Parker. On the wing, Levine. Goes up on the high post. A shot off that time. The Pistons go the other way with it. Passes to Griffin. And Parker with the block. But he stays with it. Pass to Jackson. Parker with the steal. And now Parker pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And looking at Jabari Parker, 6'8", about 250 pounds. Greg, what's his best position?
You know, I think he has a small forward skill, but with the way the game is changing, you could see him play some power forward as well. And I think his best fit might just be at the 4 because of the mismatch he can create.
The first one falls. Well, it feels quite a while ago that the Bulls put up 72 wins in a regular season.
Well, the Warriors beat that mark 2 decades later, and that was a few years ago. But give the Bulls credit. They've been trying to put together a contender. It's just kind of hard to find another Michael Jordan.
And Parker drops them both. Now Jackson. He's been a factor in their offense on most nights with his scoring average at nearly 16 points a game. And it's Drummond with the jam.
That's the leadership they're looking for from Jackson. Staying patient, surveying the court, locates the open man.
Arcidiacono, the pass to Carter. Parker outside. On the wing, Levine. The three. Rebounded by the Pistons. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And unfortunately for them, they just ran into a hot shooting team and really had no answers.
Well, they still should have been more active on defense, giving those guys a run for their money.
Whoa, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slant.
Great sequence for them defensively and offensively.
Terrific defensive instincts to come away with that one, and he showed no hesitation in how he completed that transition opportunity.
Griffin. Yes, that goes in. Griffin's got 6.
Nice pass there to set that basket up.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
Andre Drummond, a prototype athlete at the center position. He checks every box. Leaping ability, lateral mobility, you name it.
A different look here for Detroit. Johnson, he's checked in for Glenn Robinson III. Langston Galloway comes in for Reggie Bullock. And it's Ish Smith in for Reggie Jackson. The pass to Hutchison. Parker up top. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Parker's got his second bucket of the game to go. And for a man the size of Drummond to move and accelerate, Steve, the way he does, the focus has to be on keeping him healthy.
You know what, Kevin? He's been remarkably durable. Played 81-plus games in 4 out of the last 6 seasons. Last year dropped 30 pounds. He's staying lean and mean.
While we have a break, we can see which teams have made the most of their second chance opportunities over the last 10 games. The Pistons second.
Really something to see. Their effort on the offensive glass has just led to so many second chance opportunities.
To the left wing. Parker finds Lopez. Down low and stolen by Drummond. An even 3-on-3 break. Pass to Galloway. Feeds it to Drummond. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. He's got 10.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Lopez outside. Parker with the bounce pass. Here's Harrison, covered by Smith. Parker against Griffin. 5 on the clock. And the whistle blows as the basket counts. And a 3-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
No clue how he got that one to fall.
Pachulia, he's checked in for Blake Griffin. The Bulls have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across the board, 77% collectively.
Smith outside. He kicks to Galloway. Shoots. And no good. And the Bulls going the other way now. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
Yeah, guys, they were forcing it a bit in that one and shot a relatively low percentage because of it.
But you have to give them credit for being aggressive. The problem is they played too much hero ball. You have to be willing to make the extra pass.
Now here's Johnson. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Jabari Parker. Now we know Stanley Johnson was a 4-time state champion in high school in California, 3 gold medals with the U.S. youth teams, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. I mean, he did it all. A lot of winning in his background.
You know, he plays the game with ultra confidence. He's fearless. Doesn't care who you are. He's coming head on.
The first one falls. Steve, we talk a lot about team defense, but who in your mind are some of the best on-ball defenders in the game now?
Kawhi Leonard is fantastic. Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart, Draymond Green does a nice job. Even Klay Thompson, he's asked to guard a whole bunch of different guys. The list goes on and on of guys being able to slide their feet without fouling. It's beautiful to watch. The winners of 6 championship titles, the Chicago Bulls, all in the 1990s, and all with Jordan and Pippen.
The shot's good from Smith.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
To the middle. Here's Parker, and it's sent back by Drummond.
And you can see it in terms of protecting the rim. Drummond has the ability. He just needs to stay active on a consistent basis.
Now, here is Smith. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. Fades, and that one's good. Drummond, and it's a 9-point Piston lead. Well, the Bulls rebuilt their team a couple times, but then things would unravel.
Yeah, you had the Derrick Rose years. He won league MVP playing for the Bulls. Then you had Jimmy Butler. He gets traded. They continue to search for that championship formula once again.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
Galloway kicks to Pachulia. Here's Drummond, and that basket pushes the lead to double digits. Drummond's got 14 points.
Man, hard to believe. Already they're staring at a double-digit lead, and we've just gotten started.
Fantastic effort right out of the gate, simply overwhelming their opponent.
Now here's Parker. 9 points in the game so far. Here's Harrison, covered by Smith. Harrison passes to Parker, makes the shot. Basket number 4 this game, brings him up to 4 for 9.
I'll tell you, he is scorching the nets this quarter. Maybe that'll help wake up some of his teammates.
Unloads from 13. Smith, no good. And it's Harrison with the ball for Chicago. They trail by 9 points. Passes it to Parker. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Chalk up 2 there.
Great look there from Robin Lopez. Rare to see a big man with that kind of playmaking ability.
Smith outside. Kicks it to Drummond. Back to Smith. Drummond trying to get himself free. Smith gets it to go on the assist by Drummond. Smith's got his second bucket of the night. Bulls trail by 9. Harrison scanning the floor. Here's Parker, and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
His marksmanship this quarter has been unbelievable, yet they still trail in this game.
Now here is Smith. Pass to Drummond. Here's Galloway. Drills it from outside. Galloway has got his first 3 points of the game.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Well, the two go hand in hand. Matching your strategy to your personnel is key.
The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Pistons lead by 10. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. Robin Lopez talks about the importance of being the anchor on the defensive end.
That's something I relish. It's something unique. It's something to take pride in, that you have all your teammates back on the defensive end, and when it gets down to it, you're kind of that last line of defense. And obviously, defense is a team-oriented ideal, but there's something fun about that. I think there's something competitive about that.
And, Greg, that's why his teammates love him.
Absolutely. You can tell Lopez really wants to make an impact on defense on every possession.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
Aggressive defense in that first period. They forced several miscues.
These guys have quick hands. You have to protect the ball around all of them.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. They've got Harrison, Robin Lopez out there with Jabari Parker. And it's Blakeney in a two-guard. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. Didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you. And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Cover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Now, here's Parker. He's coming off a 16-point game against Dallas.
You know what? I also like how he attacked the glass. Gave a terrific effort in that department.
And they get it back. Tries a three. The shot by Harrison, no good.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Brown kicks to Smith. And the Pistons making a change here. Bullock's checked in. Bulls making a switch here. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. And the shot goes in. And the Pistons lead by 14.
The new head coach of Detroit is Dwayne Casey. They're lucky he was available. He guided the Raptors to a franchise best 59 wins last season, and he was the coach of the year.
Now here's Lopez. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. 4 on the shot clock. Holiday inside the line, and it's wide right. Hits off the rim. And it goes to show you that any coach can get fired. Casey, one of the most successful, highly regarded coaches in the league, and Smitty still got let go.
If you learn about all he's overcome, all the tough jobs he's worked in the past, you knew he'd take it on the chin and keep on trucking.
And Chicago has possession following the 3 by Detroit. Levine passes to Hutchison. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Hutchinson's got 4 this quarter.
Attacking the defense with the pass. Love the unselfishness.
Smith outside. And there's the pass to Drummond. Now here's Bullock, guarded by Holiday. Bullock, good. Bullock's got his first bucket of the night.
The offense is running well, but more importantly, they're taking the shots they know they can make.
Hard to maintain your discipline, but obviously this was the game plan coming in, and they're carrying it out.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Steve, for the Pistons, improving chemistry on and off the court has been a big focus.
Yes, locker room leadership and pieces that fit together on the court. It's about building a team in every sense of the word.
Griffin's checked in for the Pistons. Reggie Jackson comes in for Smith. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Bulls.
And really, there's just such a lack of scoring for them from out at the top of the arc in terms of three-point range. And in today's game, you have to get scoring from the three-point range. And that area out above the free throw line extended is a real weak spot for them so far.
Bulls trail by 17. Archie Diacono kicks to Carter. Levine for 3. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Levine's got 5 now.
Great play to run for Zach. Off ball, he's quick to catch and elevate.
Here's Pachulia. And the rebound goes to Lopez. The Bulls have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Right side, Levine. And Griffin sends it back.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Now, here's Bullock. Not a lot of room. Good on the triple. Jackson's got his second bucket.
Looking at Reggie's motion, it's a little bit of a push shot, but able to get it to go.
Here's Arcidiacono. Guarded by Jackson. Arcidiacono, the pass to Lopez. The kick out to Holiday. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots over Brown. That one wide left. Detroit leading by 17. Pass to Jackson. To the middle. Here's Griffin, 9 feet out. Again, the Pistons score.
And each bucket at this point feels like a backbreaker.
Showing no mercy, double-digit lead, and still putting it on them.
Here's Arcidiacono. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Brown against Levine, cans it from short range.
And you like to see this from Levine, attacking in the paint with confidence.
Jackson kicks to Griffin. Over Carter, and the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
Well, if you wonder why they're in control of this game, just look at his stats from the field. Solid, solid, solid.
Now here's Levine. 26 points for him last game against Dallas.
And he really made an impact defensively. His 4 steals were huge. Zach LaVine, he has the mentality of a go-to scorer. He's got the confidence to take and make tough contested shots.
Detroit making a switch here. Robinson's checked in.
One shot.
Free throw good, Levine. And Steve, Zach LaVine, no lack of confidence, great range on his shot. What's the next step, you think, in the maturation of his game?
Without question, it's at the defensive end. A slender built, but has the tools to be a quality defender. It's about focus and the desire to be a two-way player.
Now, here is Robinson, following the miss by Griffin. Over Holiday. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. All alone. Another miss for him, now shooting 1 for 4 from the floor. Detroit leading by 16. Here's Griffin, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Blake Griffin has made significant improvement as a shooter over the years. He's been working with his shooting coach. He's rewired his shooting form.
Steve, you talk about Griffin changing his shooting form. How is it different now than when he started?
Well, he releases it now on the way up, jumping straight up and down. A higher release gets more arc on the ball. Making a new motion feel normal takes a tremendous amount of work and repetition.
First free throw is good.
You know, it's interesting. Blake has increased his shooting range, but that hasn't really carried over to the free throw line.
Griffin hits them both. So often when a player comes off injury, he's placed on a conservative minutes restriction. Usually it's the It's the trainers that put that, the doctors that will tell the coaches what they can and cannot do. Do you think there's more of that now than when you were playing?
Totally, Kevin. I look back and think about when I played, the injuries you have. Usually coaching staff, trainers, they ask, are you ready to go? I wouldn't say 100%, but are you ready to resume the amount of minutes you played? And you couldn't answer that. They pretty much kept you out. But I think nowadays, like you said, it's more of limiting your minutes, having these minute restrictions, getting you ready to play. Definitely more than when I played.
Medical staff has a very large voice in this, and it continues that way.
Yes.
Yeah, and the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
You know, for the most part, their perimeter D is holding up, but they might have to sacrifice some of that to close down the lane.
Now let's take a peek at the league leaders in scoring. Number 5 is Zach LaVine.
And his contribution to his team offensively cannot be understated. He is always leading the way for them with his ability to put up points.
Lopez kicks to Carter. Outside, LaVine. And Holiday has it in the corner. 4 on the clock. Ring shot on the way. And Pachulia pulls it down.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And Blake Griffin draws a lot of fouls from the defense. And you look at his percentage, Steve, at the line, he's turned a weakness certainly into a strength.
It's been a reflection of his work ethic. Year after year, we've seen him make steady improvement at the line.
Well, one thing the Bulls did a great job of last year, Steve, moving the basketball.
They also had pace and space. They ran at every opportunity. The guys were very unselfish. Despite all the losses, the Bulls were a fun team to watch.
Blake Griffin hits them both.
After having no trips to the free throw line in the first period, he's being much more aggressive now.
Here's Archie Diacono, guarded by Jackson. Archie Diacono kicks to LaVine. Right through the D for the layup. LaVine's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
His temperature is rising. I mean, it is rising.
Outside Jackson. Lets it go from 14. The shot is good, and so is his shooting tonight. 3 for 4.
Breakdown by the defense there. Jackson, a solid mid-range shooter. You like to push him out further.
LaVine feeling it out a bit. And Griffin sends it back. Jackson with it. 7 points in the game. And it's sent back by Lopez.
And that is the length of Robin Lopez on display.
Right side LaVine. Carter against Johnson. Carter kicks to Holiday. That's in there. Carter with the assist. Holiday's got 5 now.
Hitting only 1 of 5 this quarter. He's in a little bit of a slump, but it looks like he's trying to shoot his way out of it.
Passes to Johnson. Fires the 3. And another 3 for Detroit.
And that's from beyond, guys. Right back at you.
This is looking more like an all-star game right now. Everyone launching from range.
Now here is Carter. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. The shot's good from Lopez.
Great concentration from Lopez to absorb the contact and finish the play off anyway.
And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Holiday. And a chance now to look at the schedule for Chicago. On Wednesday, they'll be facing Kyrie Irving and the Boston Celtics. And then on Friday, they'll be matching up against Eric Bledsoe and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And looking at the schedule, it isn't ideal in terms of the upcoming games with the amount of quality teams they're going to be playing, but it's also a good chance for you to get some confidence and really see just how good you are.
Now Robinson. After the missed 3 from Reggie Jackson, Johnson gets the bucket. Here's Archiniakono. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. He kicks it to Holiday. Pass to Lopez. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Now the pass to Griffin. Johnson in the corner. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Steve, you had an excellent playing career. Talk a little bit about the work you had to put in and just to get to the NBA.
Yeah, it comes down to that work ethic. Obviously, we all have talent, but you have to put in that work, and that work continues on the court, off the court, and it's basically 365 days a year where you have to find a way to get better.
Was it mainly shooting for you?
No, not mainly shooting for me, Kevin. I think it was always just my overall game. Well, a big focus for the Pistons has been improving their shooting, and they've done it. Last season, the 5th best three-point percentage in the league.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Drummond's checked in for Robinson. Langston Galloway comes in for Reggie Bullock. And Smith subbed in for Jackson. That one misses.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
Harrison passes to Parker. Here's Blakeney. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. And Steve, last season the Pistons' three-point percentage was top 5, but their percentage inside the arc, bottom 5.
Only middle of the pack in terms of the number of threes they attempted. Might want to shoot more from long range, force the defense to really guard them out there to open up the inside.
Here's Galloway. He's coming off a 10-point game against Charlotte. Smith for 3. Oh, trying for it. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Detroit. They reside in the 7th slot right now in the early part of the season. And, of course, the Chicago Bulls, 3 games behind.
And checking out Detroit, they're in the mix for a playoff spot, which is definitely a positive. But I'm sure they'd like to have had their hands around that spot a little tighter than they do.
I agree. They're not going to be able to coast. They're going to have to battle their way into the postseason. But maybe they'll toughen up by the time the playoffs arrive.
Here's Harrison, covered by Smith. Pass to Hutchison. Over Johnson. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
And after a scoreless first quarter, he's finally finding the range here in the second.
And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for Detroit. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Griffin down low, covered by Parker. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. 16 points for Blake Griffin. Over to the left wing. Harrison kicks to Parker. Launches it, and the Bulls another 3.
And how does he get that one to go? No idea.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. And here's Smith. Kicks it to Griffin. Back to Smith. And Parker with the block. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
Back on the floor.
And so it's the Detroit Pistons with a 14-point lead as we bring the quarter to a close. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Coach, it's early in the season, so what can you say about how things are going chemistry-wise so far?
I love our guys. We have a great group of young men that are competing hard. And it feels good because I know our guys are totally engaged and focused and giving us what they have.
Dwayne, thanks a lot. Back to you.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to have you back. You're watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. This right here is Kenny the Jet Smith. This right here is Shaquille O'Neal. Me, I'm just Ernie. Andre Drummond having an outstanding game. He had 18 points, 5 assists, and 1 block. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, how about their ball movement? That was a true definition of team basketball. All 5 guys moving, all guys rotating, everyone touching the ball, a bunch of assists, tons of easy baskets. It gives everyone on the floor confidence when you're playing like that.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
Well, they gave up too many good looks. You look at the field goal percentage against them, this tells the whole story. Not enough activity defensively, not enough disruption, Ernie. Like Kenny disrupts me all the time, not enough disruption.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
We get set to return to the action now as a barge heads down the Detroit River toward Lake Erie. We begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen. Andre Drummond has been sensational.
And he's been a monster in this game, throwing down some huge dunks. And I wasn't sure the rim would even survive in that first half.
And I can't wait to see what he has in store during this second half. Some of those jams were downright absurd.
Jackson and Bullock are the 1 and the 2. The big men are Griffin and Drummond. And it's Robinson in at the 3. They're the group for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. Bulls trail by 16. Archie Diacono kicks to Parker. Shot clock at 6. Rebounded by the Pistons. Drummond's got double-digit rebounds now in the game.
Well, they've been...
Whoa! Beautiful, beautiful.
Griffin is just fearless. I mean, a guy who is not scared of anything. That was ridiculous.
And that last replay, courtesy of the Under Armour Hover Havoc, unleashing a little bit of chaos. Here's Archie Diacono. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 11 rebounds in the game. He dishes it to Jackson. Floats one, and that one good. Jackson's got 9 points.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior. You know, and Reggie Jackson, a really solid first season and a half in Detroit, but the last 2 seasons, injuries have really held him back.
And again, Chicago, no good. Pistons leading by 20. To the paint, he's looking for Drummond and finds him. Hammers the alley-oop through.
So gifted. Drummond soars through the air, then explodes on the finish.
And Reggie Jackson in 2016-17, battling knee tendonitis. Last season, Greg, a severe right ankle sprain.
I mean, he's so important in terms of his impact for the Pistons. An athletic, physical player. When he's right, he can be a difference maker on both ends.
Chicago's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Chicago calls timeout. Andre Drummond with a strong contribution so far in this one.
I mean, he continues to burn them with his scoring. The coaching staff's going to have to come up with a different approach defensively. And quickly, let's look at the numbers for Levine. Averaging about 27 points per, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. and he's been putting up points with regularity. I mean, that's what they depend on, his killer instinct on offense.
Well, and we've seen defenses try to adjust, but he has the intelligence along with the talent, just finds new ways to beat them.
Archie Diacono kicks to Levine. Passes it to Archie Diacono. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got 3 assists now in this one. Pass to Griffin. Back to Jackson. And Detroit again with the bucket.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Archie Diacono, the pass to Parker. Stolen by Bullock. And now the fast break. Griffin with the ball. Griffin draws the double. Stolen by Holiday. Bean passes to Carter. And then Carter with the dunk.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
Count the basket. 13 points for Reggie Jackson.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Knocked loose and stolen by Drummond. To the paint. Here's Jackson. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Archie Diacono kicks to Parker. Good D by Drummond.
That's one of his shots in his arsenal, but it was terrific rim protection.
And everything they're attempting is going in. Tremendous run here in the third.
Something went on in that locker room. They've come out aggressive, but also extremely focused.
Archie Diacono, the pass to Carter. Outside, Levine. And it's Parker in the corner. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
And Jackson gets it to go.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Outside, Levine. Carter kicks to Archie Diacono. Now here's Levine. He's guarded by Bullock. Got it. Nice one there from Levine.
That's something Zach works on to round out his game. Consistency from the mid-range.
Now Jackson. 17 points in the game.
Reggie Jackson, a great season and a half spent in Detroit. Since that time, injuries have slowed him down.
For Detroit, they have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
You know, he was the 24th pick in 2011. I think it's safe for us to say Jackson's outplayed that draft slot.
Langston Galloway's checked in for Reggie Bullock. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Now Chicago's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the 3-point shot tonight. Double team on Parker. The kick out to Holiday. And there's the pass to Archie Diacono. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Andre Drummond picks one up. And Jackson dealing with knee tendonitis, Steve. Then last season, a serious ankle sprain.
Grade 3, as bad as it gets. One of the league's most imposing point guards. He's got to be right, though.
Two.
And the first one at the line is good. There's only the Basketball Hall of Fame that is shared among all basketball organizations, Steve. Do you think there should be an NBA Hall of Fame?
You know, Kevin, I do. I mean, I love the way we've done it, and obviously it's been successful. But, you know, the Basketball Hall of Fame is your entire body of work. And I think sometimes we don't understand that that's from high school, college level into the NBA. Whereas, you know, there's some guys are making it because of that, and there's some guys getting slighted because of that. So I do think one day we should just have the NBA Hall of Fame, just like the NFL.
Chicago's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Back to Parker. Griffin with the steal. Robinson goes in. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
And this is what can happen when Drummond gets into a rhythm, able to score with some consistency.
Archie Diacono kicks to Parker. Dishes it to Levine. And it's good on the assist by Parker. 16 points for Zach Levine.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
Down low. Here's Griffin. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. Sinks the triple. Robinson's got 7 points.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Bean passes to Carter. Stripped away. And now here comes Robinson leading the break.
Yeah, easy call.
In the past, Detroit put Andre Drummond in the middle, surrounded him with shooters. With Griffin in the fold, more of a classic front court pairing for the Pistons.
Free throw good. Robinson is Smith. He's checked in for Detroit. Robinson hits them both. And it's Harrison with the ball for the Bulls. It's off to Boston for him after this game as they take on the Celtics. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip. Five to shoot. Here's Blakeney. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron. Steve, the Pistons, 4 shooters, 1 big man model. Much more common nowadays.
Yeah, well, the Pistons can stagger Drummond and Griffin's minutes to get more shooting on the floor. Even playing together, I think they complement each other pretty well.
Here's Smith. No good on that one. And the Bulls going the other way now. Here's the step back. Another one falls for Chicago.
They are just killing them on the interior.
To the wing on the left. Parker against Griffin. He kicks to Galloway. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Here's Harrison. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. They get a hand on it. Here's Hutchison. A 3. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Inside. Now here's Parker. He's got 19. Pass to Hutchison. Back to Parker. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Steve, last season, even with Robin Lopez playing 64 games, the Bulls were dead last in block shots.
Yeah, Robin averaged less than 1 block a game for the first time in 6 years. What's really sad about that, he still led the team.
First free throw is good. Brown is checked in for Robinson. And Parker drops them both. Pistons leading by 22. Smith with it. Kicks it to Griffin. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jabari Parker. That'll be his second foul of the game. So it's the Pistons now. Smith outside. Shot clock at 5. They need this one. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Ish Smith, an excellent backup point guard, more than capable of holding down the starting spot as well.
Well, Steve, Ish Smith with speed to burn. Man, can he fly.
Like a rocket, he pushes the pace. As fast as he plays, he keeps his turnovers extremely low.
Free throw drops for Smith.
You know, the way he plays the game, he's always in attack. This is the one area I think he definitely has to improve on in his career. Ish Smith is knocking down free throws.
Both good from the line that time. Here's Harrison. Passes to Blakeney. And here is Parker. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Cuts off the pass. And it's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. Now Smith. He's got 6. To the inside. Here's Griffin. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. 20 points for Blake Griffin.
I like this about Blake Griffin. Puts constant pressure on the defense. Plays a very physical game.
1:52 left to play in the third. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It's going to be on Blake Griffin. For Chicago, they have been at their finest 4 at the free throw line tonight. 8 attempts, 8 makes.
Two.
He's off on the first. Detroit making a switch here. Pachulia is checked in. And he sinks the second. And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for the Pistons. There's the feed to Griffin. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Taking what the defense offers up, Smith with good vision there finds the open man.
Pass to Hutchison. 1:30 left in the third. Parker against Griffin. Parker kicks to Harrison. Clock at 4. The pass to Hutchison. Off target from outside. Detroit's gone 6 of 8 on three-pointers in the game, an outstanding 75% mark. Back to Griffin. And 1:01 left in the third quarter of the game. Smith left side. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Pachulia.
And while we've got a chance, let's check out the stats for Griffin. 13th in scoring. And don't forget, top 20 in the league in rebounds per game. He's got a great nose for the ball.
And yeah, one of the most dangerous scorers in the game. He's already come up big in some key games this year. His teammates really feed off his presence, I think. Parker with it. And Griffin picks him up defensively. And Smith with a clear path to the hoop. Over Harrison. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. Smith's got 4 this quarter.
This is when Ish is at his best, in space and in transition.
Here's Harrison. And he makes the bucket through contact and gets the whistle too.
Amazing how he gets this one to go. Size doesn't matter.
But it can in the painted area. Regardless, he's crafty enough to get up a good shot.
Johnson, he's checked in for the Pistons. And, well, Detroit shooting an unbelievable 70%. You won't see a performance like this too often. Smith. He can't get that one. Good D by Parker.
Obviously, this has been a tough quarter for him, but he's still trying to keep a positive mindset.
And he makes good on the layup. Blakeney's got 8.
This is what your spacing is designed to do. Find cracks in the defense.
With 1 on the clock. No good that time. And so it's the Detroit Pistons finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. And we'll be right back after this. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, you also have the location of the pass. Puts it right where it needs to be, where his man can do something with it.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. We've got Carter, Harrison out there with Jabari Parker. And it's Hutchinson in at the 3. Inside, Blakeney scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
You've got to give a ton of credit to the screener. That play easily opened up the easy layup for his teammate.
Here's Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
And it's gotten to this point, Drummond finishing with authority on a consistent basis.
Out left to the wing. Double team on Parker, and that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. And here are the Bulls now. Here's Blakeney, and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
You know, as ice cold as he was in the first half, that's how hot he has been since the break. No one can match up with him right now.
Bullock passes to Smith. Drummond is doubled, and the foul on Wendell Carter. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
And that's his 4th, and no doubt he would have liked to have not gotten it this soon.
.60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Outside Griffin. You know, he jams right over Jabari Parker. Ah!
When Griffin makes up his mind, he is ready to attack the glass.
And it's Harrison with the ball for Chicago. He kicks it to Parker. Pass to Blakeney. Here's Hutchison. We know a lot of NBA players take how they've been rated in a video game, Steve, personally. You've made digital appearances during your career. Did you ever have any issues with the ratings?
No, I didn't. And I think now these players grew up in this generation with video games. So, yes, they take it personally. They understand. Yes, and they're playing these games while they're in the NBA. So a lot of them, just like when the media is all over them, they want to have a say-so on how good they are, even in a video game. The mid-range game is becoming more of a lost art, but not for this guy.
Smith finds Griffin. Back to Smith. Over Harrison, 5 to shoot, and the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
A smooth play by Ish Smith. Under control off the pick, takes it himself.
Parker surveying the floor. Jackson, he's checked in for Detroit. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Pass to Holiday. 6 on the shot clock, and it's sent back by Drummond. Now here's Bullock. He's covered closely. Outside for Jackson. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Chemistry at its best. An unreal alley-oop.
You're right. The pass, the catch, the dunk, all of it perfect. Parker outside. Steve, looks like we may not have any more sleeved jerseys anymore. As you look back, is this the end of an era or the end of an error, a mistake?
Either way, I am happy, Kevin. I just didn't like the look.
I am too.
And I couldn't imagine being a player, being able to try to shoot the basketball with sleeves.
It made no sense.
Not at all. So I'm looking forward not to see guys wearing, I would call it T-shirts.
Yeah. Bulls have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. And Holiday kicks to Carter. Parker outside. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Detroit Pistons. They'll be taking on Jonas Valanciunas and the Toronto Raptors. And then on Monday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And looking at the Suns matchup, this is one where it would take a complete meltdown for them not to come away with the win. Anything can happen, but I'd be shocked if they don't come out on top.
Takes a shot at the elbow, and the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
Good defense. Jackson could have passed out of it, but showing confidence in his jumper.
Griffin against Parker. Now the dish to Levine. Rebounded by the Pistons. Drummond's got 14. Yep, 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. Brown against Levine. Brown the pass to Jackson. Chicago grabs the miss.
And guys, there's a lot to like here defensively. That shot almost ends up in the stands.
And he was not quite in position to block the shot, but the result is all the same.
Here's Arcidiacono, guarded by Jackson. The shot by Carter, nobody around. drills the elbow jumper.
And this is the value of letting the play develop. You find the weakness in the defense.
At the elbow, it's Drummond. And Drummond throws it down.
And slams it home and gets some camera time on the end of it.
He did. He spent a while up on that rim, didn't he? Archie Diacono kicks to Parker. Holiday, the pass to Levine. Here's Archie Diacono. He's covered by Brown. Great open look there.
And you see the pass. Levine improving as a playmaker, learning how to succeed at this level.
Pass to Griffin. We hear the term empty stats every once in a while, Steve, usually referring to great production on a bad team. How valid do you think that theory is?
It is. A lot of guys you see are averaging, these numbers, and players look around, and the players you're saying, unfortunately for him, those numbers are empty stats because there are a lot of times these numbers are found in when the game is decided. And a lot of times on bad teams, you see these guys going for numbers. Then you get a chance to see them play on good teams, and those stats just don't match up.
Good explanation. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Griffin's got 6 in the quarter. And here are the Bulls now. Archie Diacono kicks to Holiday. Here's Levine, and it's blocked by Brown. Here's Bullock. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
Not sure who was supposed to close out on him. Huge defensive breakdown.
And this has been a running theme. Guys out of position, failing to contest. Just look at the scoreboard.
Outside, Levine. Just 5 on the clock. Back to Parker. Shoots over Griffin, and Griffin sends it back. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. A different look here for Detroit. Pachulia, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. John Lure comes in for Blake Griffin. And it's Stanley Johnson in for Reggie Bullock. Detroit's gone 7 of 10 shooting from three-point land tonight. Excellent numbers from outside. There's the pass to Johnson. The shot's good.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Ulis with it. Jackson on him. Ulis passes to Carter. Back to Ulis. Shot clock at 6. And Holiday has it in the corner. And again, no good by Chicago. Now here's Brown. It's good.
And the point differential tells the story. Their two-way play has been outstanding.
It's a matter of effort plus talent. You need both to dominate this way.
Felicio kicks to Ulis. West has been the dominant conference of late. It's been that way for a while, but out east, Steve, we're seeing the development of some great young rosters.
Yeah, over time, and obviously you see the balance of conferences go one way or other. When you have teams that just dominate and win championship, usually you see that lopsidedness, and that's in the West right now. But on the East, that team, the Boston Celtics, we all can say if they're healthy, they got a chance to be in that conversation. You love the youth of the Philadelphia 76ers. And in Milwaukee, they need to add another player to go with Giannis, and they'll have a chance to be talked about as well.
Good overview. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Detroit Pistons. And it's Lure, top of the key. Brown outside. Johnson down low, guarded by Holiday. Johnson can't hit. The Bulls have gone 8 of 14 from the floor here in the fourth quarter. Alkins, he's covered by Brown. Kicks to Ulis. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Shoots a fader, and it falls over the rim and in.
It looked like the defense just flat out froze out there. Clear breakdown in communication to allow that easy bucket.
Outside Jackson. Jackson is doubled. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. The NBA is so financially stable right now, Steve. What's it been like watching this growth of the league overall?
You know, I've loved it because I think the partnership has been phenomenal. The league is growing both for players and also organization. They've done a nice job of getting a chance to hammer out some of these issues to making it worthwhile financially for the league and also financially for the players.
Money from the wing. Jackson's got 24 points.
Fabulous night for Jackson. He's unconscious scoring the basketball. You see all the work he's put in, and it's paying off.
Ulis looking it over. Elkins. He's covered by Brown. They get it again. Off on the layup. Detroit's gone 7 of 10 shooting from three-point land tonight. Excellent numbers from outside.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Pistons.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins. And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Andre Drummond.
You know what stood out to me was the anticipation defensively. He sensed what the offense wanted to run, then found ways to disrupt that and cause turnovers.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
You know, you feel on top of the world when it happens as a player, just the relationship you have with the fans.
Ulis with it. Pass to Carter. Over Jackson. Some solid defense there from Jackson. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you very much, Blake. Another good night of work offensively. How does the team build on this?
Just keep that rhythm. You know, we're not always going to hit shots every night. Some nights the shots aren't going to fall. So just keeping that rhythm, keeping the ball moving, talking on defense, and relying on each other.
Congrats on a great win, Blake. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.